Hey everyone, it's Kino here. Welcome to another episode of Living the Yogi's Life. This is where I share with you what it means to me to translate the lessons that you learn on your yoga mat into your everyday life. I know it's been a while since I've been sharing these on my YouTube channel, but here I am again. And I guess one of the most important things for me to really share with you is that the essence of yoga is a spiritual path. There are all sorts of shapes that we can make with the body and really all sorts of poses that we can do, but the essence, the spiritual message of yoga is where its core really is. It's where the heart of the practice is. So if we think about it, is you begin to practice, you may start the practice because you want to get healthier, you want to feel more fit in your body, more flexible, you may wish to move your body into a particular pose like a headstand, a handstand, or a back bend. But always remember that the essence of the yogi's path is a spiritual journey. The essence of the path of yoga is about the inner experience. If you accumulate a bunch of poses and you sort of get them, then it doesn't really mean that now you're an amazing yogi because you've gotten all these poses. If you get the right outfit and the right mat and the right poses, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're an awesome yogi now. Sometimes we accumulate things which are the material aspects of the practice, the accoutrements of the practice. And instead, what we want to think about is associating or identifying with the spiritual journey of the practice, so that you don't need to lay out a bunch of crystals or lay out a bunch of cards or get a particular incense or something like that. The real journey of yoga happens in your heart. So ask yourself this: why do you practice? What really draws you back into practicing? And it will always be those very quiet, almost ineffable moments that are so hard to describe, but are almost like the peak experiences of the inner journey, where you experience the light within yourself, where you experience moments of peace. So at the end of my first yoga class, I sat there and I felt this stillness. And I didn't know really that stillness could exist before then. One of the things that I've realized is that stillness is not sort of something special that only one person can experience. In fact, every person has a path, a bridge to stillness that exists through the channel of the heart. And it's really through the aspect of surrender, through the aspect of grace, that you can experience calmness, stillness in your mind. So ask yourself when you're practicing, when you're getting frustrated about how quickly you get into or out of a certain pose, or if you get frustrated that you haven't been able to practice enough, remember that the seed of stillness is really the essence of yoga. That's why you keep coming back to the practice. To have yourself in good spirits, to carry the peace of yoga into every moment of your life, to translate the lessons that you learn on your mat into everyday life, so that you understand that it was never about the poses. It was always about being a more peaceful person. So when you tune into the journey of yoga, no matter where you are, if you're just beginning, recognize that the journey is infinite. If you rush down into the practice, you never really get anywhere fast. If you've been practicing for a long time, like I've been practicing for 17 years, what you understand is that somewhere in the journey, somewhere in the questing of yoga is the answer, is the stillness itself. As though the whole purpose of the journey of yoga was to bring you into yourself, was to bring you into a deep state of inner resolution, so that you understand the basic idea. Who you are towards yourself is who you are towards your whole world. If you learn to love yourself and accept yourself, then you'll learn to love and accept your whole world. And it's really that simple. I mean, if you could take yoga and reduce it to its most basic element, I think that the real thing that we're after is to experience a true, complete, universal, and compassionate love. A complete and universal love. A love that is never ending, a love that is never dying. A love that takes you by the hand from your first breath and leads you with mercy and grace and compassion in every moment of your life. A love that is forgiveness and is so whole and complete that you can have absolute faith and absolute surrender. And that's the reason why we keep coming back to the mat. And there's nothing that can really change that. Once you experience that stillness, once you experience universal love in your heart, then your whole life changes. And then you understand that this is really what it means to live the yogi's life. I hope you guys are inspired to keep practicing. And if you're not already subscribing to my YouTube channel, I hope you decide to subscribe. And I hope that you carry that seed of peace in every moment of your life. Namaste.